back with another video. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now, looking a hot mess. Just got out of the shower, wet hair, letting it air dry. Haven't even done anything with it. But while the kids are asleep, my husband just left for work. So I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to at least get one video out of the way so I can get my editing started tomorrow. So I've been not doing anything for a while. I think the last time I even posted a video was 7 months ago. And end of last year, I just went in this like huge reading slump. Like I did not even pick up a book for like 3-4 months. New year, I've started reading again, getting back on track. I finally got me a tablet to keep a reading journal, to keep up with my Goodreads. I've joined a book club on Fable, and I've also created my own book club on Fable, and I will post the link for that on below if you guys want to follow. Anybody's welcome. So it is like end of February, so I am a little bit behind with actually recording. However, I have been using January and beginning of February to actually like get things in order, make a plan for content and you know what I'm gonna post and edit days and stuff like that, so that way I can try to stay consistent this time and maybe actually get this thing going for real. This video is basically I'm gonna go over my January and February wrap up. I will tell you I am still currently reading one, but I will go ahead and include that, but I will be finished before February's up. It is the 24th today. So I will get that book finished before I hop into March. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and post the January, February, the books that I read, and like my little review on them. So the first one is Ward D, Freida McFadden. That I read on my Kindle, so I don't have the physical copy, but I did, according to my Goodreads, I gave that one a 5-star. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge fan of Freida McFadden. I know a lot of people don't like her and her work or whatever the case may be, or they say it's like hit and miss. I'm not gonna lie, there have been books that I like less than others. Obviously, I don't give all of her books a 5-star, but I have literally pretty much loved every single book that I've read by her. It's one of those like easy to read, kind of quick, and it does get you like into it. Like she does like thriller, suspense, and it is one of those things that will have you hooked. Like one more chapter, like you know how you're watching like something on Netflix and you're like, okay, after this episode I'm going to bed, but then how it ends, you're like, okay, one more, and then you're up till 4 in the morning. That's literally me with the Freida McFadden books. So I gave that one a 5-star. I'll probably make that like a reread book. I feel like I gave that one a 5-star because that was my like after a 4 or 5 month slump, that's the first book I read this year to get things going. It was just the basic Freida McFadden, and I loved it. One of those, it's not that I don't remember it, but I read so many books a month that I will forget like the characters' names, or I'll just kind of have to like have a refresher on what it was about. This one was a medical student, Amy, and she had to work or train or whatever on Ward D. Yeah, it's like the psych ward. So she was already super nervous about it. Like she did not want to do this night anyway. She has to spend the night on a locked psych ward. She's been dreading the shift. It's the hospital's mental health unit. There's reasons why she never wanted to do this required overnight rotation. Reasons that no one can ever find out. As the hours tick by, she grows increasingly convinced that something terrible is happening within the secured walls. When patients and staff start to vanish without a trace, it becomes clear that everyone's in grave danger. And her worst nightmare was spending the night on Ward D, and she might never escape. So that one did have like a lot of twists and turns. I did not see the plot twist coming. That's one of those things for me with thriller, suspense, mystery, like all that stuff. If you can surprise me with the plot twist, I'm probably gonna love the book. So I think that's why I rated it 5 stars. The next book I read January is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. This was actually the book club that I joined. This was the book club book. At first I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, just because I guess it kind of, some of the writing, it just wasn't really my style. But once I got into more of the plot and the story, I actually really did enjoy this book. I rated this 4 stars. It was, because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was just kind of a little weird, I guess, a little different. I don't know. But the plot twist was a decent plot twist. Maybe not the plot, I don't even know if this is going to make sense when I say it. Not even really the plot twist of the story, but the plot twist of characters is what made me like it. Okay, the next one is The Boyfriend, again, Freida McFadden. This was actually my book club that I started. This was our January read for 2025. And also this was my book of the month book. So I was really excited to read this. And I'm not gonna lie, this is the only Frida McFadden book that I have like the physical copy. Because I have Kindle Unlimited and I read a lot on my Kindle. And it's just one of those things like trying to build my bookshelves and my little mini library. So it's like I need the physical copy, but it's also free to just, and then it's really hard for me like when I go book shopping looking for books and I do see like all the physical copies and I'm like, this is on your list of what you need to buy like for your bookshelves. But then it's also like, but if I'm gonna spend money, let's spend money on new books. Like, so it's kind of that battle in my head. But this is The Boyfriend. I rated this one 5 stars. I'm not gonna lie, most of the people in my book club, they rated this 5 stars as well. They loved it. Plot twist was amazing. Like, we have discussions, like chapter chats, I think that's what it's called, where you can kind of chat with people and you just click on like chapter 6. You know, if you haven't gotten that far, you don't want to click on that chat. But like, you know, say I read chapter 8 and it was like, oh my God. So then I would get on my book club app and go to chapter 8 and see like what other people said and thought about it. And so the people I was discussing the book with, we were literally in all of these chapter chats like, do you think so-and-so? That's who that is. Like, oh, it's making sense now. I wonder if that's him. Like, you know, and then how it ended and the plot twist, we were all completely wrong like the entire time. And it's like at the very end. I did love this book. It was like a super plot twist. She has a good way of making characters seem important and like, oh, that's him, he's the killer. And honestly, no. You know what I'm saying? Like she's got a good way of like twisting things. And I just say with this one, every scenario I had in my head, none of them were correct. And so that's why I 5-starred this one. Because again, like I said, a good plot twist. You got me. The 4th book I read for January is Killer Instinct, which this is book 2 of the Natural series. I think it's 4 of them, which I think I did see on my Kindle where there's now like a 5th, but it's just like one of those, what do you, like short story? What do you call them? I don't even know, but whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even remember what I rated the first book. The first book is called The Naturals and it's Jennifer Lynn Barnes, that's the author. I think I really liked that one. I think gave it like a 4 or 5. This is basically about these team of kids and they have like unnatural abilities and they like solve cold cases. And then there's like twists and turns in this too. This is more like crime genre, I guess. But I don't know. I really like the first one. Not gonna lie, I rated this one 2 stars. I just did not enjoy it. Even me getting towards the end, like knowing I only had like 10 chapters left, I was genuinely considering DNFing it. But I'm like, I mean, you're almost done. You've gotten this far. Just finish it so you can focus on your other books. But I really just didn't enjoy this one. I will say for me, it kind of put a damper on things because it doesn't have me excited to pick up 3 and 4. I know me, I'm going to. Like if I start a series, unless I DNF the book 1 of the series, but if I start a series, I have to finish it. It's just like one of those things for me. So I know I'm eventually gonna finish it, but I'm in no rush to pick up book 3 or 4. But this year, that's gonna be one of my goals. I am gonna finish the Natural series. 4th book I read was Twisted Love. And this is book 1 of the Twisted series. And I think there's 4 in this too. Not gonna lie, I rated that one, let's see, 4 stars. Know why I rated it 4 stars, because it was one of those things like I genuinely love this book. Like I'm very excited to read book 2. Can't wait to see. And if I'm not mistaken from what I've heard, book 1 focuses on Ava and Alex, and then book 2 goes into 2 other characters that are mentioned in this book, but it's not like their story. And then I'm not sure about 3 and 4, but I think it's just different stories of all the characters from book 1. Really love this book. I want to say I did 4 stars because I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to move on in the series. I just didn't give it 5 because it just wasn't, you know how it is. Like you finish a book, you know, like that was 5 stars. And I just didn't get that 5-star feel, but I genuinely don't have anything bad to say about it. For sure recommend it as a good book. And I read this on Kindle, my Kindle Unlimited. It was one of those, you know, just intrigued, quick reads. I think because my goal is like 6 books a month. I knew that was gonna be my 6th one, but I think I was kind of running out of time. So I'm like, okay, this is something I can read in like a day or 2 or a day and a half. So I went ahead and read that. I thought it was really good. I rated it 3 stars. It wasn't like super, it wasn't 5-star good. And it wasn't something that I'd be like, oh my God, you have to read this. But it was a good book. Like, I enjoyed it. I didn't want to DNF it. I wasn't bored with it. Okay, so the summary on this one is, it says YouTube baking sensation April has the secret to any baking recipe, but if you keep watching her offline, you might find out some other secrets about her. Everyone has secrets, some are worse than others. April's secrets are enough to destroy her. So it's basically like, I don't know, it kind of seems like, you know, there's like PTA moms, and she's a stay-at-home mom, and she has one kid, and it kind of starts off like, you know, someone's messing with her, like posting bad things like under her YouTube channel, because I guess she's like a famous like baker, like content on YouTube. She's like famous through social media for her baking videos. She gets these comments, she doesn't know who it's from, like, you know, it's kind of telling her business, like things people shouldn't know. She's freaking out, and then it's like she starts getting these messages, and they're not saying who it is, but it's kind of just like, you know, I see this in your backyard, for example. So it's like, it's as if she's being watched, but she doesn't know who these messages are coming from. So she's like skeptical of everyone, and it seems like these people kind of know her secret, so she's freaking out. And it just kind of goes through the book of her, like, what if it's her? What if it's her? Like, why are these people treating me different? Blah, blah, blah. And then it does have different parts of the book that kind of explain other viewpoints, and then that's kind of where the plot twist comes in. So I thought that was a really good book. It wasn't until we got to where I saw like, oh, there's a part 2 of this book from a different point of view. That's when kind of like the plot twist comes into play, because at first I was just like, what's going on? Those are the 6 books I did read in January of 2025, so I did reach my goal for there. I'm proud of myself. Let's go ahead and get started with February, which is this month. Again, the month isn't over, but I am recording this video and getting it edited and stuff before. I want to get that done before March. Like I said earlier in the video, there is one book that I'm currently reading. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in this video because I will be done with it in the next day or two, but I just won't have a full review. So maybe March's TBR video or something, I'll go ahead and maybe start that one out with kind of my review from that one, and then we'll go into March. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add that one in. I will say I had 5, well, I did have like 6 or 7. I had 7 books on my February TBR of what I wanted to read for the month. 2 of them being book club books, 5 of them, you know, just what I wanted to do on my own. I will say the book that I am reading now is technically book 5. So I won't reach my 6 book or 7 book goal for this month, but that's okay, because I feel like February is shorter. So that makes sense, right? Like that gives me a defense. Girl math. But I will say my goals, since I am kind of short this month, March, I think I'm going to try to reach 8 books so I can stay caught up, because I don't want to spend too many months getting behind and then I'm not reaching my yearly goal, which I don't think I mentioned, but my yearly goal is 70 books this year. So I will say last on Goodreads, I think I got, I want to say 63 books last year, and that was with me being in a slump for 4 of those months. That was with me having a wedding, getting married, going on a honeymoon. So I did make it 70 books. I feel like I can exceed that. So my goal is 70, but if I can go over 70, I'll be really proud of myself, which I should be able to do if I don't fall into another slump. And you know, you guys get the point. The first book I read for February this month is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. This was actually the book club that I started. This was the pick for February. Not gonna lie, I'm glad that I did pick this one, because this was one of those, like, really wanted to read it, really was intrigued, but like the whole fantasy kind of not human world, for me, that's like not one of my go-to genres. That's not like a huge interest for me. So I knew if I didn't make that like a book club book where I was forced to start it, this would have been on my shelf for like ever, if I even ever got around to it. But I will say I gave this 5 stars and I loved it. It wasn't until after I finished that I found out this is going to be like, I think it's a series of maybe 3 of them. The second one is not going to be, I think the release date is sometime in April. So I'm super excited to get that. Probably gonna go ahead and pre-order it. But I love this, and I cannot wait to read the other ones. This did kind of open up my mind and my world, because I'm one of those like thriller, suspense, romance, crime, but I kind of stay between those 2. So it was different for me, but I loved it, and it makes me want to add fantasy to, you know, what I usually go for. I gave this 5 stars. I will say it did take me a few chapters to get into. It is one of those, it's like devils, demons, ghosts, you know, stuff like that. So it did take me quite a few chapters to get into it. At first I really wasn't feeling it, But once kind of like the story started and I was into it, I was like into it hard. It took me like maybe 3 or 4 days, like, you know, talking in the chapter chats, like, I'm gonna keep reading, but it's just not really my thing, but I'm gonna push forward. And then say day 3, once it like got into the story and I got into it, I finished it within a day and a half. I think once it starts, the competition, because the competition is called Phantasma. Once the competition starts, I think is when the book really picked up for me. Okay, so this one is Ophelia and her sister discover their mother brutally murdered. She inherits both her powerful death-driven magic and enormous debt on their home. Ophelia's sister decides to pay off the loan by entering Phantasma, a competition where most contestants don't make it out alive. The only way to save her sister is to compete. She meets a protector that she knows she shouldn't trust, but she can't afford to turn him away. The only thing deadlier in Phantasma than losing the game is losing your heart. But no, this was actually really good. It did have, I won't say like a huge plot twist, like you're gonna get like thrillers, but it did have a twist at the end, and then the way it ended was good too. So I cannot wait to pick up the next one. My second book for February is The Crash. What do you know? Frida McFadden. Not gonna lie, let me show you guys the cover. Okay. I read this one on my Kindle too. So this is the cover for that one. And this was actually, I think it was a new release for this year. I'm dying, you can see my ring light. This one just came out this year. I'm not gonna lie, that one, it was really good. I think I gave this one 4 stars because I love the book, had a good plot twist. I actually did enjoy it. I will say this is the first Frida McFadden book where I was like genuinely actual emotion, irritated, frustrated, and not gonna lie, low-key pissed off. Just because like reading through it, it was just getting frustrating and irritating because the characters were just like stupid. Like it's like one of those, you know how you're watching a scary movie and she finally gets out, but then she drops the keys to the car. Then she's like crawling backwards. Like, it's like one of those things like, come on, like be for real. But it like actually was low-key infuriating me because it was just like, I never was gonna DNF it. I wasn't gonna stop reading it because I was interested, but it was just pissing me off because I'm like, you could have been out of this situation. Like, so what are y'all doing? So that's kind of that. But I did give it 4 stars because I liked it. It was a good read, but it can get frustrating. The third book for February is Binding 13. This wasn't a book club book, but me and one of my friends, Michelle, buddy read it. And so basically we just kind of read it and then would text each other every day, every other day, like, hey, where you at? What are you thinking so far? This is kind of what put me back for February because it's not like super big. I think it's like, what, 600 something pages? So I guess it's not like crazy big, but it was a lengthier read. And then if you see the thickness of this book, and then like the letters are actually like tiny small. And I'm not gonna lie, one thing I didn't like about this one, the chapters were actually kind of long. I don't know, for me, I don't know about y'all, but like long chapters frustrate me. Like, let's get quick and to the point, because I don't like stopping points to be mid-chapter. So it's like, if I'm trying to do like just one more chapter, and that one more chapter is gonna take me 40 minutes, it's just like, what the hell? But I'm not gonna lie, 5 stars, love this. I cannot wait to pick up Keeping 13. That's probably gonna be in my March TBR because I'm actually ready to read these. And I think so far it's 5 books. I don't know if any more are coming, but yeah, it's 5 books. I'm not sure, but if I'm not mistaken, I think book 1 and 2 focus on Johnny and Shannon. And then I wanna say 3, I don't even know the other characters that it focuses on, but I think 1 and 2 follow their story. And I love this. And it's one of those, like the way it ended, like low key, if I didn't have goals to make for February, I would have just grabbed the second one and started it right then and there because I just like, why would you stop there? Like, excited. I love this. Like, I cannot wait to finish this series and talk about it. 4th book is Twisted Games. This is the one I was telling y'all about that I'm gonna finish this month, but I'm still currently reading it, so I really can't talk about it too much, but I think this one follows Bridget and Rise. Is that his name? Hopefully I don't sound dumb, but this follows their story. And if you've read Twisted Love, the first one, Bridget is Ava's friend who is a princess in a different country, but Bridget's also attending school with Ava in the United States, but like she is a princess, so she has like a bodyguard, and I'm pretty sure Rise is the new bodyguard and they're mentioned in the first book. This one follows their story. So I'm not too far in. I'm on chapter 7, so I can't really even really say where this is going. I will say so far, just even the first 7 chapters, I'm into it the same way I was. So I'll probably finish this within the next couple of days. I'm gonna take it to work and read it. We'll kind of review it for March's video. But so far, I love this. A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, Tia Williams. This is the book club that I am in, not the one that I run, the one that I'm in. This was their February pick. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be a DNF for me. Only like middle of chapter 3, but it's just kind of like the writing style. It's not really, can't get into it. Chapters are long, so that's already making it worse. Like for it to be a hard read, for it to kind of be like a genre and just the storyline is something I'm not interested in. I don't typically go for books like that. And it being like a harder read and the chapters are long, like it's definitely been a struggle for me to even get through the first 3 because it's like I'm not enjoying it. I don't like the writing style. And these chapters are like 30 pages. So I am definitely DNFing this one. I'm not gonna read this one. So I guess technically I'll have 4 books for February since I technically didn't read this one. But I'm gonna definitely make sure I get caught up. I'm for sure gonna make my goal for March 8 of them. Those are the books that I read for January and February. What I'm trying to do is get back into this video and trying to stay consistent with at least posting content weekly. If you guys have any ideas, tips, pointers, criticism on how to help with that, that'd be great. Follow me on Goodreads. If you want to join my book club, I'll have both of those listed below. But I think my next focus is, and I've kind of like gotten like a content calendar and all of that. I'm going to start vlogging when I do my reading journals and reviews like on my iPad, and probably just make those like TikToks and shorts. Book of the month. So I have a subscription, so I'll probably start vlogging like, you know, my like opening my packages with me. That'll probably still be shorts and TikToks. I am going to do like my monthly wrap-ups and reviews. I'm going to, at the end of the year, try to do the yearly wrap-up and review. I'm probably going to post monthly TBRs on what I ideas of what I want to read that month. Try to stay consistent with it. So if there's anything else you guys would like to see, please comment below. Actually working on this will be trial and error. Me and Javon and my sister have a Texas trip at the end of March. And so what I'm going to do is actually try to vlog that week's trip. And that one's going to be used as trial and error. Just kind of see like what I did wrong, what I need to do, and see if I can make something out of it so I know what to do for next time. So I know we are gonna vlog our Texas trip. I'm gonna start trying to vlog maybe just like everyday life things too, as well as my reading, because I know basically my life is reading and mommy. So I'll probably be posting a lot of mommy stuff, reading stuff, and you guys along with me. I know this weekend, Saturday, we are getting the walk-in closet in our bedroom. We're getting that redone and repainted, and that's gonna kind of be my mini like library office. I'm gonna have my bookshelf set up and like my reading chair, a little office desk and stuff to edit. So I will probably vlog us getting that together and like, you know, speed through it, probably voiceover. You guys can see that journey from beginning to end as well. So again, if there's anything you would like to see or any type of criticism, help, ideas, definitely comment below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to my videos and just help me stay consistent and committed, please. All right, thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.